Everybody, welcome back to another Flea Market Finds episode. And what I've got here is the stuff that I picked at the outdoor flea market on April 14th of this year, which was the opening day for that flea market, and ended up being kind of a disappointment. But let's go through some of the stuff. I ended up just getting a bunch of random stuff from different dealers, and for some reason there were a lot of files around that day. Most of these are Nicholson's, so good USA made files. These are all Nicholson's right here. Sometimes I find these Simmons ones, which are English, I believe. This little Nicholson's interesting to me because it says flat aluminum type A on the back. Let's see, here's a rusty one. So typically when I see files like this, because I have so many of them, I don't pay a lot for them. I usually get these for $1 or $2 a piece. A good condition used Nicholson file, especially some of these larger ones, if you can get them for a couple of bucks, that's a really good deal. So can't pass it up. This is a stone that I forgot exactly what this was for. I think this is for gouges, for sharpening gouges, which is a type of tool used for wood turning. So I grabbed this just because it's unusual shape. I don't have any like this. A couple of blocks of aluminum that almost seem to have like an anodized coating on them. So I'm not sure exactly what the original purpose of these was. They could make, non-precision parallels, I guess. They could make also soft jaws in a very large vise, or whatever you want to, or I was just thinking I could just use them for stock if I have something I need to make out of aluminum. And again, paid very little for these, probably only $1 or $2 a piece. And also snagged, this is one of the nicer things I snagged this day, which is this this big number 10 wrench. It's got a really good look to it. It's got the type of handle that you can slide a cheater bar over. The odd thing about it is, other than having a number 10 stamped into it right here, it doesn't actually have a size. I would say that's 1.75 inches by the looks of it. And it does have a logo here, P-S. Paul Stanley of Kiss. Oh, maybe not. Then from another guy, went through a bunch of junk he had there, and I found this rusty magnetic transfer block. That should clean up okay. And this just scrap of steel. This large solid brass plumb bob, which is kind of interesting. I have not seen any markings on it yet though, so it might just be a no-name. The other thing that I thought was kind of unusual about it is there's no hole to attach. So now that I look at this, I'm wondering whether or not this is even a plumb bob at all, because it makes no sense to me that there's no hole to attach. There's no hole going through here with a cap that unscrews, or a hole going through the side that would allow you to really attach anything. So tip is bent, but it's a solid piece of brass, so it would be good for making a project. But really what I wanted out of this junk pile was this thing. At least I wanted it when I was looking at it, because I pride myself on knowing what a lot of things are before I buy them. But this was a mystery item. I had no idea what this was. And because it said Indian on it, and it's got a patent number, and it says D.B. Smith and Company, Utica, New York. So I figured, okay, well, it's D.B. Smith Company of Utica, New York makes it, but it said Indian. And it's obviously some sort of a pump, right? So, silly me, I was wondering whether or not this was an air pump for pumping up tires on Indian motorcycles, which made me think, hey, this might really be something. So, luckily, I paid $15 for this and these 3 items here. So, maybe $5 for this stuff. I'm only into this for $10 because what it in fact is, and I felt kind of silly after I got it home and was able to research it, It is a hand pump for an Indian can. And an Indian can is a type of firefighting apparatus. It's a metal can that you put on your back like a backpack, and then you have a hose that goes down to this thing. The hose is broken off here, and there's a nozzle in the end. There's supposed to be a nozzle that goes on the end here. And when you pump it, it basically will squirt water out. It's for fighting brush fires. The funny thing is, my local fire department, for years, they had a whole bunch of these. And they had an old Indian Scout vehicle that was probably bought surplus, and they painted it up for, fire engine red, and I forgot what they designated it on the radio, but basically that was that and an old 2.5 or 5 ton, I forget which, army truck that they also fitted up for the same job. Those were what they used to use for fighting brush fires in our part of the state. But this is a blast from the past, but it's a fairly common item. I don't think it's worth that much. Probably have to sell it on eBay to get even my money out of it, even get my $15 back or whatever. But lesson learned. Next time I see one of these, I won't get too excited. It is solid brass too, so it's got that going for it. I guess you could repurpose it if I really wanted to, but Another thing I bought was this Core, K-O-R-E 2.0 watch. Now this is one of these, watches that's supposed to, I think, link to your phone or something. It's got a customizable display. Gives you local weather updates. Got an alarm and a stopwatch. Tracks steps and stress. Oh, so it might be one of those watches like a Fitbit. Yeah, I think that's what it is. It's supposed to be like a knockoff of a Fitbit by some company that didn't do very well, and that's why nobody ever heard of them. So from what I was able to find online, apparently these used to sell on Amazon for $59.99. They're now kind of obsolete. You can still find them on eBay. And last one of these that sold on eBay that was new, sealed in the box like this, sold for $29.99 or something like that with free shipping. This is pretty light, so it wouldn't cost much to ship it. So others sold for like $15 or $20. So I only paid $1 for it. So the question is, do I want to open it up and try and use it, or do I want to just sell it? Because once I open it up, it'll be worth significantly less. I don't know. I don't want you have a Fitbit or anything like that. I don't know if I want one. Might not be a good idea to see what kind of shape I'm in. All right, so there's a lady there who had a bunch of stuff. They were doing a clean out of someplace, and she had this bin right here, and I took a look in it. And what we're looking at right here are crankshafts. They must have cleaned out a garage or a shop where the guy was doing work on a lot of Tecumseh engines, because these are all, I didn't take every single one of them out, but there's about 12 of them in there, and these are all Tecumseh genuine crankshafts for small engines, and they're all new old stock. I did open a couple up just to make sure and pull them out, and they appear to be all new old stock. What these are worth, I don't know, but I paid $5 for the entire bin. So if I get $5 a piece for a few of them, I will make my money back. But so thought it was kind of interesting. Luckily, there are part numbers on some of these boxes. Otherwise, I would probably have no way of knowing what the heck these are for. So like that's a 260 450. That's a small one. Oh, my mistake. That's a Briggs & Stratton one. So I guess these aren't all Tecumsehs. I forgot about this little item here, and this definitely was the buy of the day. I had already brought this upstairs for safekeeping. So what we're looking at here is a Buck 110 knife that I got for $20, and I think it's an earlier model. I'm not a knife collector, so I don't know, for sure. But I know the 110 series was made for a long, long time. I remember when I was a kid. Somebody gave me a Buck 110 knife as a gift, and I was probably about 12 years old, and I had it in my tackle box, and I was fishing one day, and somebody walking by, I guess, just reached in and helped themselves to it. And that was the last time I ever owned a buck 110 until I bought this one today. So some 40 years later. So got a little bit of damage here on the wood, and I don't know why, but it's got all this pecking on the brass right here. It's interesting to me, it's got 3 brass rivets holding it together, but this one's not. And the case is in excellent shape. So I'm very happy with that find for 20 bucks. All right, guys, this is going to bring this episode to a close. If you like this video, please hit the like button. If you're not already a subscriber, please consider hitting the subscribe button. Until next time, take care.